With the Chariot being the overall here, we could be talking about distance. Somebody needing to travel to see the other person here, or it's about let's get this relationship on the fast track, so to speak, giving it a sense of direction. Where is this relationship headed? Are we in control of what is happening here? But I also feel like it's the distance between the two of you that may be causing the problem. Now, in the past, you are showing temperance, they are showing the Eight of Pentacles. This, I feel like, is not about the hard work that needs to be put into the relationship. I feel like this is literally them being focused on something else, whether it's work or just something else, period. I don't think it's about another person. But they're giving a lot of time and attention to something else in their life right now, but you are like trying to keep yourself in balance, patiently waiting on them to kind of figure out what they need to do. And it may be that they're traveling for work, or like I said, this may be, the long distance relationship, which is very possible here. Now, beyond that though, I just feel like you realize that there is something else that they need to kind of take care of or focus on. And I think that you're okay with that. Now, where you meet in terms of the relationship, you are looking at justice. They are showing the Ace of Cups, which is, I'd like to have a new start. I'd like to have a new beginning. Now, for you, though, I think that justice is not so much about accountability or making amends or correcting wrongs. I think it's literally about whether or not you feel like it's the best option for you, especially if, there are other options. It's not like the Seven of Cups here, but I feel like you need to weigh out whether or not this is the right thing for you to do, or if there's something else that you should be doing before you make a choice. But you don't, though. You don't. Now, with the Ace of Cups coming through on their side, like I said, I feel like this is what they're bringing into it. I don't think that this is about what you're offering them. But with justice, is it the right thing for you to do? Or is there something that you need to take care of before you can accept a new beginning? Either way, though, with the Two of Swords, for you, it's like, I don't know if this is the right thing for me to do. Especially if there isn't a whole lot of direction or contact with the relationship. And I think that your inability to make a choice makes them feel like it's over with. I mean, they immediately jump from the Ace of Cups to the Ten of Swords like it's done, it's over with. So that may not be your intention, but because of your inability to make a choice on whether or not you want to have a new start here, they think it's over with. It's done and it's over with, right? And it's not a good thing, right? There's at least some level of pain here for them. But what I see coming out is something completely different. So once you get past that point, the Nine of Swords showing up, especially on your side, would show, the fear, the anxiety, overthinking things, right? And going back and going, should I have done that? Should I have been in this place where I couldn't make a choice? But, it may be because of them. Because this is between the both of you. With the King of Cups, right, we could definitely be talking about the other person and you. Male, female, another water sign, doesn't matter to me here. With the King of Cups, in terms of you, it would be about you being in better control of your emotions, especially with the Chariot being there. And getting kind of past this fear and anxiety. Now, for them, they may still have feelings for you and feelings for the relationship, but I feel like they're definitely separating themselves from it. Because with the King of Cups, you're not just talking about getting control over your emotions, but this is somebody who also is known for taking an emotional distance and not getting too involved, where the Queen does, right? Now, with the Knight of Cups coming out, though, is this the offer coming back through again? And is this you, or is this the other person? But what I say when it comes to the Knight of Cups is this is about somebody who's doing something based on how they feel right now in the moment, And with the Chariot, again, even if it's coming in this way and somebody is being led by their heart to do this, we still need to get a sense of direction and control. But I don't necessarily feel like that Knight of Cups is a bad thing. I think that this person is still very much interested in you, even though you were unable or unwilling to do something in regards to that Ace of Cups. And then the Six of Wands, and it's not bad. So, and to me, this is like, you know, what is going on between you and them when it comes to possibly trying this again, but in a very different way. I don't think that there is, you know, this feeling on their side where they're betting everything on that cup, on that Ace of Cups, that new beginning, right? That new emotional connection. Now, with the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Cups, right, for you, the overthinking would be that, you know, possibly this could have been the happily ever after, or, you know, they may have ended it before you were able to make a choice, and you may, like, sort of blame yourself, which isn't accurate. But with the Eight of Cups, we're definitely talking about walking away, right? Now, in this, I feel like is more so about them, you know, but yet, you know, they may have been calling it at one point, but you're still talking about somebody who's still investing into something where they're not getting that overall happiness. Now, coming out of that, though, definitely somebody is making something happen here. And for Scorpio, it might actually be you. The Magician is about, you know, using... It's not that you're manipulating the situation. You're using your tools and your skills here to make something happen, to make something manifest. But they are coming at you with the Seven of Wands, which is basically saying, look, you know, if you want to make this work, right, like, I can't deal with certain things, right? This is somebody who is speaking up. The thing is that they're still very emotionally open or available, you know, but yet they're not really being completely involved or invested emotionally, especially with the Eight of Cups. But I think that they're still willing to be open to having a connection, or having at least an emotional connection. Now, after that, you have the Six of Wands, which for you is, you know, a small victory in this for sure. And with them, the Queen of Pentacles, it could be, you know, and again, male, female, doesn't matter to me. Somebody who is either water, earth, or both, doesn't matter. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is somebody who I feel like needs to feel secure, but they need to feel secure with themselves. But I think that they're also looking for security from you. You know, and with the Six of Wands, that to me would suggest that, you know, there is some victory over the nonsense of the past here. Your inability to make a choice. But, you know, again, it could be because of them. You know, because I look at that and I feel like there's a reason for this. You know, if Scorpio is being handed the Ace of Cups by somebody, especially somebody that they're focused on or interested in, I don't see that, you know, you would have difficulty in making a choice in whether or not to get invested or take it. I think that something may have happened along the way. I don't necessarily feel like you're trying to correct anything, but based on past experience where you're patiently waiting for them to figure shit out, you may get to a point where, like, you know, am I going to have to go through that again? Is that like one of the cons that you need to weigh out here? You know, and I don't think that you're completely shut off, but they take it immediately as, well, it's over with then. And that's not accurate, you know. But like I said, I still feel like it's something about this person that kind of puts you in a place of, like, let me just think about this for a minute, you know. But they're the ones that, like, immediately go, oh, well, it's over. But that's not really the case. You know, but I do like, you know, the circumstances coming out don't look bad to me. And I do think that maybe for you, there may be a lot of, like I said, a lot of thinking, overthinking about what could have been, looking at the Ten of Cups, because I feel like in the past, at least you thought that there was absolute happiness with this person, the happily ever after, but, you know, clearly with the Nine of Swords, it's not happening. And I do think that they're not investing in that idea anymore. And I think that the communication is changing between you. But like I said, this is somebody who feels a little bit more secure and isn't betting everything on, you know, all or nothing. I think would be the best way to put it. But like I said, with the Six of Wands, it looks good coming out of this, right? Getting victory over this type of thinking. And then the Four of Swords, all right. You know, I have to wonder, right? Like, I have to wonder. With wedding being there, we could be talking about you wanting to take this relationship to that point. But somebody is definitely not wanting to. Now, for some of you, you could be dealing with somebody who is married, or you have been married to this person before. Okay, it's one of those situations here. The Hierophant, I mean, yeah, right? You're talking about commitment, the traditional relationship. In this deck, this is about spiritual support for a relationship, right? Now, the card looks a little fucked up, and a lot of people will interpret that as the narcissist. But, you know, we'll see in the clarifiers here. But, you know, with wedding and the Hierophant, we could definitely be talking about, you know, somebody who's already involved somewhere else. But with the Ten of Wands, this, like I've always said, is, you know, relieving pressure, releasing a burden. But that's all it is, right? It's like hooking up with somebody but not having anything happen after that, right? Like there's nothing after that. That is what it is, and that's it, right? And it may be that, you know, somebody is just not happy in a situation that they are committed in, or they're not wanting to be committed, you know. But this is like, oh, screw it, let's just hook up and, right, release all that pressure that's being built up. Now, moving out of that, the Star. With the King of Wands, there's definitely going to be a level of healing and hope when it comes to, you know, being a little bit more passionate, a little bit more loving and nurturing and caring, because I see that with the King of Wands. I like him in this deck, right? He looks like a good guy. You know, like, I love you, I care about you, right? You know, and this could be you or the other person, could be a male, female, doesn't matter to me. But there's definitely going to be healing based on what somebody does. Now, strength coming out, though, with the Four of Swords. This is the strength to not push things in a direction that is going to, you know, feel like somebody is being forced to do something that they don't want to do. Because that's what the Four of Swords is. This is like, I want to have this connection, but you can't force it. And it may be that, you know, you need to kind of like have the strength to step back and not try to force a commitment or force somebody to, you know, take that relationship to that kind of a commitment that would lead to wedding or marriage, right? So looking at the Two of Wands, the first thing that I got from this is that this person should have taken, you know, some time to get to know you, or you them, a little bit better. You know, especially if you're getting involved with somebody or hooking up with somebody and then expecting them to commit to you, right? Because apparently somewhere that's not clear. And that's definitely not what this is about, you know. Now, with the Ten of Cups here, you're talking about somebody who is not seeing that. And like I said, that this is either going to be you or the other person. But with the Star, it's like you're looking for them to kind of fix the situation, or to heal the situation, or at least give you some kind of hope that this relationship is worth getting invested in, that it is going to go somewhere else, that it is going to lead to a situation where there is that kind of commitment. You know, because you're talking about what should be a happy situation, and somebody is just not seeing that the other person isn't as invested. Now, moving out of that, when you're talking about strength and the Four of Swords, the strength not to force an issue with the Empress. Don't, you know, try to tempt somebody to do something that, you know, they're not wanting to do. Now, that could be the other person, though. Like trying to get you to commit to them, and you may not feel comfortable with that. Right? But as far as, you know, the Two of Wands, I feel like, you know, honestly, that's both of your faults for not taking time to get to know each other a little bit better. It's like instant passion hookup. But as far as commitment goes, you know, like I said, I don't know that that's what somebody else actually wants. And that may be where things get a little bit better, though. because of Judgment being there. So first of all, with the Page of Wands, this is about looking past appearances. I think that some of you may have been looking past something, or at least trying to. But with the Three of Pentacles, you're talking about, you know, a very loving and warm relationship, right? This is, I need you. I need more of you. I need you to be a little bit more caring, compassionate, loving. You know, I need you to understand me. And I wonder if you're not really getting that, or the other person, it's either you or the other person, right? I mean, because you can always flip the script, but you are the one that's being asked to make the effort. But, you know, I think that somebody may have been willing to kind of look past the fact that they're not actually getting what they need from you, which is possible because of the Seven of Swords. This is like getting to a place where there is no longer a connection. You're not even hooking up, speaking. There's no physical connection, right? And that sword laying there, to me, is the truth that needs to be spoken. Now, with the Magician, right, that is you need to make that happen. You're going to have to make something happen here. But I think that for some of you, I don't know that you're really willing to, because I feel like you're the one that's waiting on the apology. But that apology with the Five of Cups is what's going to blow away all that crap from the past. When you're looking at Judgment. Judgment is about clearing up stagnation in a relationship and realizing that things are a lot better than what they seem. Right? And definitely looking at things a little bit differently, but you're going to have to make an effort. And for some of you, it's going to be that you're going to have to make an effort here to accept the apology of another person. Because you may feel like it's their fault. You know, to me, it kind of feels like somebody wasn't giving you, you know, that kind of warmth and understanding. Instead, you got somebody who was, you know, passionate in the moment. But, you know, did you look past something that left you in a place where you're just not connecting at all? But things are not as bad as they seem to be, though. And then the Ten of Pentacles, and that's just, you know, self-reflection in a relationship, but it's also about, you know, having a relationship that has been fruitful, right, so to speak, or abundant at least. Now, with the Eight of Swords, right, this is definitely you not being very comfortable with the fact that you're dealing with somebody that's just full of passion. I mean, you know, and again, with the Devil in the background, this is about being put in an uncomfortable position. You know, this to me is, I need more. I need more of you. I need more of your understanding. I need it to be more than just that. You know, and that's how they're kind of coming in. And I think that you are willing to look past that, though, but I don't think that you were happy or comfortable with it. Now, with the Queen of Pentacles, I think that for some of you, you may be kind of looking at it going, you know, I just need to focus on me now. Like, maybe I don't need to be involved with this. But yet with the Magician here, it's about you needing to make something happen, make the effort, right? You may not need this person. They may not need you. Or they may feel like that in the moment because there is a disconnect, because somebody is not speaking the truth about the fact that they were not comfortable with this. They need more, right? Like, I need more of you. I need more of your understanding. I need some compassion right now. Now, like I said, coming out of it, somebody is definitely apologizing here and things look a little bit different and a little bit better. But I think that, you know, this is really about you needing to take a look at yourself within the relationship. Here's what gets missed with the Ten of Pentacles. You know, if you pay attention to what the creator was trying to point out with this deck, you'll see that that mirror is there. It's about, you know, who are you in this relationship? Self-reflection. Who do you feel like you are inside this relationship, right? Are you seeing yourself accurately, or are you looking at the relationship accurately? Because I think that for a lot of you, it's a lot better than what you think. Right? But you're going to have to make an effort here to make a connection. And if somebody is not giving you what you need to speak about it. I mean, and that's basically it. I don't think it's bad.